When I was a small child, I was terrified of the dark. I still am. But back when I was around 6 years old, I couldn't go a full night without crying out for my parents. To search beneath my bed or my closet or whatever monster I thought was waiting to eat me. Even with a nightlight, I would still see dark shapes moving around the corners of my room, or strange faces looking into my bedroom window. My parents would do their best to console me, telling me that it was just a bad dream or a trick of the night. But in my young mind, I was positive the second I fell asleep, the bad things were going to get me. Most of the time, I would just hide under the blankets until I became tired enough to stop worrying. But every now and then, I would become so panicked that I would run screaming into my parents' room, waking my brother and sister in the process. After an ordeal like that, there would be no way anyone would be getting a full night's rest. Eventually, after one particularly traumatizing night, my parents had enough. Unfortunately for them, they understood the futility in arguing with a 6-year-old and knew that they would be unable to convince me and myself of my childish fears with reason and logic. They had to be clever. It was my mother's idea to stitch together a little bedtime friend. She collected a large assortment of random pieces of fabric and their sewing machine, and created what I would later refer to as Mr. Ickbarr Bigelsteine, or Ick for short. Ick was a sock monster, as my mother called him. He made me feel safe at night and helped me sleep away the scary monsters. He was pretty damn creepy, I have to admit. Honestly, looking back on it all now, I'm still impressed that my mom could think of something so strange and disturbing looking. Ickbarr was stitched together with the look of a Frankenstein gremlin, with a big white button for eyes and floppy cat ears. His little arms and legs were made from a pair of my sister's black and white striped socks, and the half of its face was green, made from my brother's old football socks, and his head could have been described as bulbous, and for his mouth, my mom attached a white fabric and sewed a zigzag pattern to shape a wide grin of sharp teeth. I loved him at once, for whatever strange reason. From then on, Ick never left my side. So, it was after dusk, of course. Ick wouldn't like the sun. He would get upset if I tried to bring him to school with me. But that was okay. I only needed him at night to keep me away from the boogeyman, which was what he was good at. So every night at bedtime, Ick would tell me there were monsters hiding, and I would place him near the section of the room, the closet with the spookiness. And if there was something in the closet, Ick pressed up against the glass. If there was a big hairy beast under my bed, then under the bed he went. Sometimes the monsters weren't even in my room. Sometimes they would hide in my dreams, and Ickbarr would come to save me from my nightmares. It was fun bringing Ick into my dream world, as he and I spent hours together fighting off ghosts, ghouls, and demons. The best part was, in my dreams, Ick and I can talk for real.
How much do you love me?
I would ask. More than anything, I would always tell him. One night in a dream, after I'd lost my first tooth, Ick asked me for a favor.
Can I have your tooth?
I asked him why.
To help me kill the bad things.
The next morning at breakfast, my mom asked me where my tooth went. From what she told me, the tooth fairy didn't find it under my pillow. When I told her that I gave it to Ickbarr, she just shrugged it off and went back to feeding my little sister. From then on, every time I lost a tooth, I'd give it to Ick. He would always thank me, of course, and tell me that he loved me. Eventually, though, I ran out of baby teeth, and I was beginning to get a little too old of a kid to still be playing with dolls, so it just sat there on my bookshelf collecting dust, slowly fading away from my attention. Over time, the nightmares, however, became worse than ever, so bad that they've even been following me in the waking world, terrorizing every dark corner, rustle into the bushes. After one particularly bad night of biking home from a friend's house, when I swore a pack of rabid dogs were chasing me, I got home to find something strange waiting in my room. There, on my bed, standing fully upright with the soft glow of the moonlight from my window, was Ickbarr. At first, I thought my eyes were just playing tricks on me again, and had been all this evening. So I tried to flick on the lights. Another flick of the light switch, then another, and another, with no change to the darkness. It was then I started to get nervous. I backed away slowly from the door behind me. My eyes were never leaving the shape of Vic's silhouette, my hand awkwardly outstretched behind the reaching doorknob. I was just about to get my ass out of there when I heard the door slam itself, locking me into the blackness. In nothing but the shadows and silence, I stood, frozen in place, not even breathing. For how long I can't say, but what felt like a lifetime of cold fear, I heard the shrill, familiar voice.
You stopped feeding me, so why should I protect you?
Protect me from what?
Let me show you.
I blinked once and everything changed. I wasn't in my bedroom anymore. I was somewhere else. It wasn't hell, but the comparison wasn't far off. It was some sort of forest, a horrible nightmarish place with partial embryonic abortions hung from the canopy, and the ground was swarmed by carnivorous insects. A thick fog wafted through the air, and the stench of rotting meat, while Catrice lightning flashed across the night sky. In the distance, I could hear the agonizing scream of something not quite human. My head throbbed like it was about to explode, the pain forcing out a river of tears. In my mind, I heard his voice again.
This is what your reality would become without me.
I felt earth-shaking footsteps approaching fast.
I'm the only one who can stop it.
It was behind me now, huge and angry, hot breath across my back.
Bring me what I need, and I will.
I woke up before I could turn around. The following day, I raided my parents' closet for my brother's baby teeth, giving them all to ickbarr. Almost immediately, the night terrors ceased, and I was more or less able to go on about my life as normal. From time to time, I'd have to sneak into my little sister's room and snatch what was meant for the tooth fairy, or strangle one of the cats to pry out one of their sharp teeth. Anything to ward off the visions. Anywhere from a shark tooth necklace to a cavity-ridden tooth. I also began to notice that Ick would move about my room whenever I had left for a length of time, rearranging my stuff and hanging his teeth so that they would glisten. And he was warm to the touch. As much as he creeped me out, I couldn't work up the courage to destroy him, knowing perfectly well that he would leave me. So I went on collecting teeth for Ick and throughout all high school and college. The older I got, the more things I would learn to fear, the more teeth Ick would need to keep me safe from. I'm 22 years old now, with a decent job, my own apartment, and a set of dentures. It's been almost a month since Ick's last meal, and the horrors are starting to crowd around me once more. I took a detour through the parking garage after work that night. I found a man fumbling his car keys. His teeth were stained yellow from a lifetime of cigarettes and coffee. Even still, I'd use a hammer to get out the molars. When I got back to my apartment, he was waiting for me, on the ceiling, in the corner. 2 white eyes and a mouth of razors.
How much do you love me?
He asks. More than anything, I replied, taking off my coat. More than anything in the whole world.
Feeling blue, you Remember ducking love will never end. Stop your boyfriend, stop your girlfriend. Remember ducking love will never end. My ducky farts rainbows, my ducky shits halos. My ducky misses flowers, and he looks and take showers. Would you like to take a bath with me? With me in my rubber dumpper. You bring the water, I'll bring the bubbles. Tonight will be great on a rubber ducky date. If you're ever feeling lonely and feeling blue, you know what to do. Stop your boyfriend, stop your girlfriend. Rubber ducky love will never end. Stop your boyfriend, stop your